Hello, Year 9. Hopefully, you managed to get through that atomic structure lesson. Like I said, don't worry too much about the ions. I will cover that again. You'll do it again at the end of Year 9, and you'll do it again in Year 10 and Year 11. So hopefully by Year 11, you'll be able to teach me how to do an ion. Now, this is a nice lesson. I love these lessons. So I love learning about Group 0, Group 1, and Group 7. So today you're going to learn about Group 0, and you're going to learn about, hopefully, Group 7 as well. Now, there's a nice little starter for you to do with your teacher. What's on these slides? What can you tell us about them? And you can have a little discussion about what is on the rest of these slides. Now, I'm just going to go through, oh dear, I'll have to look at that video. I'm just going to go through the tasks that you have to do because Sir or Miss will be able to do this quite easily because it is a really nice lesson. So, elements in Group 0, there was something for you to write down, just a little bit of information. Again, the pen's there. Then you can have a little bit of a chat about what the word Nobel means and why these images look like this. Maybe link it to that video that I just need to check because it didn't work on that previous slide. But maybe why is this guy sitting down? Why is this guy tiny? Maybe these are all clues as to what this picture is telling you about. Now, once you've done that, you're going to have to draw the electron configuration again, and you're going to have to say why are they unreactive. Now, I already talked about this a tiny little bit on the other video, so think about why lithium was so reactive and what did it have in its outer shell that might be different to what these have in their outer shell, which makes them so unreactive. Now, once you've done that, you have a table of melting and boiling points. I just want you to describe what you can see. Think about whether this is increasing or decreasing because that is really important. And your teacher will be able to go through that with you. Now, once you've done this, there is a little memory activity. Now, I'm just going to say that the way I do this is I would go down to the resources section because you can't get out of your chair and all come around the computer. So I would put this up on the board, I would start my timer, you've got 30 seconds, and then in your book I would write helium and I'd write down as much as I could remember about that. Now it is important that you write down the information because after that you are going to then answer these questions. So far this lesson, you've thought about why Group 0 is unreactive, you've thought about the melting and boiling points, and you've done a nice little memory quiz about some of the interesting ones. After that, there's an exam style question. Now, it might be that you are not sure at all. If that is the case, could I just ask the teacher that to make sure that everybody writes down this answer here and this diagram in their book, and I will pick that up when I come back in. Again, it's something we'll do over and over again. And then you have a really nice activity about the Hindenburg. I'm not going to go into too much detail about this because it is really, really interesting. There are some videos here about what is happening and the whole reason that this actually happened. Now, this one here that is on the screen right now is actual footage. So the screaming and everything you hear are actual people that are screaming. So just be aware that you are listening at a piece of history right there. Now, once you've done that, you've got your green box task for this lesson. I want a nice couple of paragraphs about this. I want you to describe what happened on the day. Now, in the folder, there is a disaster report. Now, what I suggest, if these haven't been printed out, is that you can read through it on the screen. Maybe you could volunteer to read for Miss or Sir so that you can help out a little bit and read a paragraph each, maybe. And then what you're going to do is you're going to use this to do a brief summary of what happened. Now, why hydrogen had to be used rather than helium is a really interesting point. We were talking about the war. Helium was in really high demand and they couldn't get a hold of any, so they used hydrogen instead. You want some background information on Group 0, so why is Group 0 unreactive? And then you want to say why helium should have been used rather than hydrogen. Now, the thing about hydrogen is it explodes, and you'll see that on these videos, whereas helium is one of our lovely Group 8 or Group 0 elements and noble gases. So there's a very, 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 very good reason why they should have used